You heard from Jared Bednar. He will start with the Charlie Coyle line. Phil Deneau wins the face-off against him, and away we go.
There's a lot of work ahead of them, but I know if I was in that meeting, I would have been pretty giddy as an Avalanche player.
Middleton flipped one toward the net. Fought off there by David Riddick. And puck worked off to the half wall. Jonathan Drouin dropped it back for Kelmakar. Swung it over toward Taves. Fought off by Riddick up high on the shot from the point. And draws in on that banged up fourth line for Jim Hiller. Puck at the line and whisked away. Kings on the move. Here's Trevor Moore. Stopped by Blackwood. Told you how good he's been since that trade. The .917 save percentage with Colorado. That is 8th in the NHL in that time. It works for the half wall. Pass swept across, rink wide, corralled off the wall by LaFerriere, who lost the handle. And speeding ahead here is Sam Malinsky. Works one on at Riddick, who fights it off into the circle. Kempe ducks in and a good stick. Like always from Devon Taves. Puck toward the net, kicked out by Blackwood. Corralled at the wall by Nichushkin. Cross ice for Devon Taves. Speeding in on the entry. Pulls up, dropped it off to the wall. Puck careens around, cross corner, past McKinnon off of his stick. And the Kings get it out to neutral ice. Flipped on for Kopitar without numbers. A shot into the glove of Mackenzie Blackwood. Couldn't work it back to the line for Taves. Now on the entry. Good stick from Devon Taves against Fiala. McKinnon goes speeding in. McKinnon with a shot. Trickled wide and wiped out of there by Gavrikov. McKinnon put the Jets past Jordan Spence and blew by him. Now Nichushkin back in on the entry, and that's harmlessly fought off by David Riddick. Nathan McKinnon did go, and a chance working in off the rush against David Riddick. We're scoreless in the first here in Denver. And now O'Connor protects through center and worked it off rink wide for Malinsky. On the hop, dashing in, sharp angle shot. Tried to go up high on Riddick. O'Connor fighting for it along the wall with his fourth line out there, centered by Jack Drury. And at the left point, Lindgren fought for it, but gloved down by the Kings, and then Lindgren does the same through center. Halfway through this first period at Ball Arena here in Denver. Good stick from Andrzej Kopitar. Patient and then intercepted by Coyle on a pass intended for Kuzmenko. He's got 19 goals in his 34 games this season. Puck bounces down. Nichushkin fans on it and scooped up by the Kings out the center. Byfield on the entry with Fiala. Dug it out of his skates. Doughty a one-timer. Fought off by Blackwood. And now back the other way. The Avs race up ice. McKinnon cuts in. Floated in for Girard, who was under pressure there, matched up with Drew Doughty. Puck shoveled ahead by the Kings. Byfield races to it and couldn't get to it first, fighting with Malinsky. Girard back on it in the corner, protecting, and off into the circle, intercepted, moving in, and a save made by Blackwood.
Well, he stays high in the offensive zone, and he reads this play by Malinsky. Just a little backhand pass, a little too casual, and he comes off the wall, and he almost puts this far side on Blackwood. You can see just attacks the dots, and there's no one there.
7:29 to go in the first, and no score between the Kings and the Avalanche here in Denver. Face-off one back to Keaton Middleton, looking for a lane, and Riddick made the stop, and it bounced down, and we've got a penalty called earlier tonight over on ESPN Plus in Minnesota against the Wild. We've got all kinds of Caps action over on ESPN Plus.
How incredible they've been throughout their careers.
The stars that define the last 20 years. Here's Marty Necas, who pulled up, worked it off in the direction of Lekin, and Middleton was looking for a tip. Approaching 2.5 to go here in the first. Nichushkin floated ahead for McKinnon. Added it with the backhand with Riddick coming out, and he makes the stop on Nichushkin. Coyle against the second-year winger Alex LaFerriere, who jockeyed with Coyle off the draw, steered it off in the direction of Quentin Byfield. Puck back to the line, hammered toward the net, changed directions, moves back into Colorado ice. Girard ducked away from Warren Fogle. Sam Girard missed a couple of games recently with a lower body injury, but back in there. Taves with a shot, easily steered off by David Riddick, and the Kings collect and flip it out through center. Necas Gaining speed through center. Pounded there by Adrian Kempe. Finagled off into the corner. Worked it in behind for Val Nichushkin. Pass Anderson and Natchez toward the wall and collected there by Kempe and flipped wide for Byfield with a shot. And it's gloved by Blackwood. McKinnon worked it off toward Nichushkin and then speeding up ice. Here is Cale Makar. Final 40 seconds of the first. A drop for Nathan McKinnon. Back to the line. Ryan Lindgren loads it up with some traffic in front.
Able to capitalize. It'd be great for the Kings' perspective to get one here early in the second.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of ESPN and an official partner. Maybe it took him a little bit to just find new surroundings with a very different style of play here than he had for a dozen years. Out in front, a great chance for Nichushkin. Steered off by David Riddick.
To join the Avalanche, this is 10th game, and but really smart player. Just watch him driving through the back of the net and good hand-eye coordination as he bats that out of the air in front to Nichushkin. And you know, the thing with Brock Nelson.
Middleton, who was crashing to death. Around the wall, Moore tried to pry it free. Nichushkin back on it, swooping in near the blue line, protecting on the backhand. Shoving it on net toward Riddick. Brent Clark got harassed below the goal line, tried to work it out towards Sammy Hellenius, and then a good stick, but not out of the zone. Makar slammed on the brakes, got it back to the line. Here is Cale Makar drifting out high against Joel Edmondson, moving in on the backhand, works it out in front. They score! Cale Makar's magic sets up Logan O'Connor, and the Avalanche strike first.
Just watch him move his feet along the blue line, uses his body to perfection, just shields off Edmondson, doesn't allow Edmondson to use the stick reach that he has to his advantage, and then just waits for the opening. Nice job by O'Connor. You can see him spin off his check there in front, recognizes that his check comes with him. He pops back out, gets his stick free, and is able to put this behind David Riddick.
Gerard scoops it up. He goes rink wide for Marty Natchez. And over the line on the entry. Chipped off into the corner. Nelson tapped it along for Arturi Lehkonen. He's got a career-high 27 goals this year. Gerard high and wide. Nelson scores!
Across the blue line, then gets it down low to Brock Nelson. Nice job here. He puts it out in front to Lehkonen as this line continues to grow. They go back low to high, and there's a bounce off the backboards that Riddick doesn't pick up. As he goes to make this save initially on Gerard, this shot goes wide. He gets stuck to the right side of his net, and Natchez just a good play there. Good heads up to recognize the goaltender is out of his net. He gets it from his forehand to his backhand.
Cale Makar's stick snaps on him. He goes off for a fresh twig as Devon Taves angles in behind. Tried to bank it out. Cut off by Moore. Out in front. Byfield with a great move. Sprawling near the goal line and cleared. And now a penalty coming as well.
And everyone stopped for a split second, including the Colorado Avalanche. And that just leads to Byfield being wide open. And what a stop there by Taves as he negates this goal from the LA Kings. Boy, Byfield almost had him on the move, and there you see that left skate of Taves, and Vogel's complaining about this one as Blackwood's there. He's just coming through the crease trying to get for the rebound and almost trips over Blackwood himself, but he has to be aware of where the goaltender is.
Drouin steps in, pulls up on Edmondson. Makar to the rescue, kept it in the zone. McKinnon in behind. McKinnon surveying. Out for Natchez. Seam pass. Drouin. He skates. Drouin back for Makar. Makar. One-timer. Marty Natchez makes it 3-0 Colorado.
One-timer shot on the power play for the Avs. Just a beautiful little setup here for Colorado as they give you a little look at what teams are going to see here down the stretch with Natchez. Another right-handed shot on this power play. Again, good puck movement. The Kings are collapsed. And that's the guy that you can put out, start banging some bodies. So that's a big loss in a game like this, or any game for that matter, for the Kings. And you hope that there's nothing long-term there.
It was blocked by a crumpling Cale Makar. Back to his skates, and the pass is fed out in front. Fiala tried to tuck one home, but Blackwood made the stop. Halfway through this man advantage for Colorado. Top unit on the ice. McKinnon on the entry. Maneuvers in on Kempe on the entry. Snaps a pass off that hops away from Natchez. Back on in right point. Seam for McKinnon. One time. This power play is gorgeous. And it's Jonathan Drouin.
I mean, it's just incredible. They spread the Kings out. And then just watch this go from one side to the other, back to the other, and bam. Drouin is just, he has all day. And you remember in the first period, he passed up on this shot, decided to pass. Not this time. He's going to put this one in the back of the net.
Alley-ooped up ahead, and Colton with a shot, looking far post. Carr snaps it for Taves. In over the line. Taves with a feed. And a big save made by Riddick. A drop for Anze Kopitar. He goes spinning in along the goal line. Banks one back for Joel Edmondson with a drive. Kicked out, and Blackwood makes a couple of stops on the rebound. A 4-0 Colorado lead since the first. It's been one-sided, and the Avs cruising down the stretch. Hadn't had multiple power play goals in a game in 67 games. Nichushkin went spinning. Lindgren moved it off. Nichushkin a shot. A nice save by Riddick. Sliding to his right. 4-0 is the final. And Mackenzie Blackwood's fourth shutout of the season is a career high. He's got 3 of them since the end of January.